The Reserve Bank of India has revised priority sector lending norms to make room for more credit for farmers. The central bank, in fact, has asked banks to give 8% of the total credit to small and marginal farmers in a bid to boost agriculture. What does this mean for banks? However, I'm being joined by Arundhati Bhattacharya, Chairman of the State Bank of India. Ma'am, appreciate you very much taking this very quick call. Let's start by getting your takeaway as far as the changes in the PSL norms go for you.
I think the changes, a number of them are very favorable. First of all, they've taken away the distinction between direct and indirect agriculture. Secondly, they have added a number of areas like food processing, social infrastructure, renewables. So those things are all very positive. They've also increased the amount that for a housing loan, which would be eligible for this kind of priority sector lending. So overall, I think quite positive. And from the way the things have been put, I believe it will be easier for us to achieve that 40% norm.
Will the rise in home loan ticket to 35 lakhs, in your opinion, make it any easier to achieve really those PSL targets?
That's right. That's right. And because we are very much in tier 2, tier 3 cities, it is possible for us to do this quite easily. So to that extent, yes, it is a positive for us.
The 8% target which has been set for marginal farmer lending, for you as a large bank, it may not be as tough. But do you really see this as a challenge for smaller banks, ma'am?
It would be a problem for the smaller banks. For us, it's not a problem at all. I think if I look at my numbers, probably we'll already be in compliance. So that's not going to be a problem. For the smaller banks, yes, but then, there is always a route for getting that. So the route for that would be, we have these interbank participation certificates. So people who might be achieving more, they can always, sell it down to the smaller banks who don't have that reach. Overall, I don't think it should be a very big challenge. It should be achievable.
The RBI has recommended a level playing field for foreign banks. Just give us your comments on that.
A level playing field is always good. Okay. And if you look at a foreign bank and if you look at some of the new private sector banks, they have basically the same challenges. So to that extent, I don't really believe that it will be so difficult for them. The same kind of thing that I told you about the rest of the banks, especially the private sector small banks, I think the foreign banks would also have to go the same route. Of course, for them, export credit remains in priority sector. It has also, incremental export credit has also been made applicable for the rest of the banks, which is also, again, a welcome step for us. I think it basically creates a more level playing field, and that is how it should be.
The RBI also has PSL certifications in the offing. Just give us your comments on that. Do you really think that will take off?
Actually speaking, I don't have the details about this particular initiative. So I'm really not able to give you the details about it. But overall, as I said, the priority sector norms, whatever I've been able to look at, because it came out only late last night and I had very little time to look at it. Overall, I have found that they are definitely more friendly than the regime that we had earlier, and gives all of the banks a better handle to perform as per the norms.
Okay, fair enough. Let's talk about the monsoons, ma'am. Weak forecast really coming in as far as the monsoons go. Is the agri book going to be a pain point this year as well?
See, the quality of the monsoon is more important than the quantity. And by the quality, what I mean is how dispersed is the monsoon. And secondly, the timing is also very important. And therefore, to call it now is a bit of a stretch. I don't think we should go into these panic modes, without really understanding how things will pan out. As I said again, it is the quality that matters and the timing that matters rather than the quantity. So let's wait for it and see how things pan out, and then we can take a call. But we have been through very many climate disasters earlier also, and we have always come through it. So there is a very well laid down procedure as to how such things are to be handled. I think going forward, we will see that we will be able to handle any of these situations if it comes to pass.